Hello, buddy. Good morning. A bit of a late start. Took the two kids to school this morning, so I thought, I'm not going to rush a video out. There's no point. Price actions, seems to be only just getting started by 9 o'clock these days. So everything continued to go down. Everything, all. We're talking stocks, everything. And the only thing that's not gone down really is the Dixie. But the Dixie does look like it could be printing some kind of high around here. We got a single drive of bearish divergence on the daily there. Obviously the weekly is still relatively good, but close a weekly like this, you'll get some bearish divergence. Also close the weekly like this, you're at this major toppy area, which corresponds to these tops and the breakdown over here. So look, I'm not calling for a massive reversal at this very moment in time. I'm going to stick to what I've been saying this whole time, that we're likely to see a corrective move. We're seeing it now, it's correcting, that's fine. Correcting quite fast, and you might say to me, but hang on a minute, this is because the Fed, the Fed added fuel to the fire, didn't they? There was the tipping point, but it was already correcting, wasn't it? Everything was already coming down, which is why I was saying the rest of this month, as much as people are talking about a Santa rally, which, remember what happened in October? Remember that was not, things were not going up in October. It was, I don't know, it was just November, wasn't it? It's not about months. I know people like to think this, but it has to go up because it's Christmas, and it has to go up because it's October. No, it's all about balancing risk to reward, and the risks over the rewards, they didn't make sense, and even now in some of these charts, they really don't make sense still. However, if you want to get skin in the game, you do have to start thinking about where potential lows are going to be, which is something you might want to tune into the Patreon for. We're doing a live stream tonight. We'll look at loads of different charts. This is what we always do, and the best thing to do is to come up with a plan that suits your risk tolerance, really. And for me, I'm very pleased with the way things are moving down. They're coming down dramatically to areas on the charts which I have actually been calling for ages. Calling for in my own plan, right? So I'm not calling for it on YouTube saying, watch this, if it happens, I am absolutely right, which means I am the dominant YouTuber in the world. It's not that. I have to make trades to make money. I exited all these trades from November, and I'm looking to get back in. And I was saying I need to get back in lower. I'm not looking to get in on these tiny dips. I want to get in on these golden crosses, if we get them. And I'm happy to wait for them. If we don't get them, the chances are we would have continued to go up, and we would have created a bubble pop, which would have been a longer lasting, more painful consolidation. But like I said, this isn't just a crypto thing. This is a stocks thing. So we've had that Trump pump, right? So it's a buy the rumor, sell the news. We're getting closer and closer to the administration changeover. And the reality is, is a buy the rumor, sell the news, isn't it? But I prefer to focus on charts. So, my plan for, crypto has always been the same. It's going to consolidate throughout this summer. Towards the end of the summer, looking to accumulate back in. And then we're going to break out. Hodls will be fine. Trades should rip. And then we'll see where we go. When I was telling everybody that I was closing positions, at these, peaks, basically, based on risk, I was called many things. But, I don't care what I'm being called, because really, my money was safe. Safe from this. Safe from, I say this, safe from this. I did actually buy some Ethereum, but not at the peak. But I did buy some. Maybe not that safe. But that was a tiny fraction. I've still got the vast majority of my trading account in cash, and I am looking to start scaling in. Probably maybe even from today, to be honest. From today. So, Ethereum down 20%. Which is not that bad. It's a cryptocurrency with a further 8.5% to go before a major target gets hit, which is around that 3,000, 3,100. Over to the weekly here, so we're below the 7 simple, we're below the 10 exponential, and we're heading towards the 21, which is 3,127. And then below that we've got the magical 3,000. Noob Master might like that one. And then realistically we've got a 20 moving average down here at 2,870 basically. And again, there's a bullish chart. Despite seeing this meltdown, this is still a bullish chart. So let's respect the fact that it is still a bullish chart. Just resetting is all that's going on. Now, when we hit these areas, I don't expect to see a whoa straight back up to the moon. Although that could happen, I don't expect to see that. I expect to see some sideways and chop, up, down, oscillators resetting, money flow sort of dwindling down to much lower than it is right now. Trading volume lower and lower, since most people, I think, at this point now have got wrecked, you know, because the desperation of getting in on a market which is soaring, basically, you know, 200, 300, 400% in some cases, and people still buying. You know, people are going to be trapped up there, and then what will happen is that they might feel so depressed that they'll capitulate, which is what the market wants them to do, and then it will go back up, and then they'll have to buy higher again. It's a psychological. It's like a game of poker, isn't it? Really, it's very much a psychological game. You know, indicators count for a lot, but emotions count for a lot as well. And if you can't handle those emotions, you can't handle trading, really. And that is that. It's a simple fact. You know, if you're not into buying things from lower prices, because you can't imagine or even see signs of why it would go up, then you're going to miss out from potential lows. And if you can't imagine what it's going to be like to find a top when we're going up, then you know you're going to get scared when you see these big corrective moves, and that's what we're seeing right now. So let's have a look at some of the main ones that are in my portfolio. So we've got XRP is only down from its peak 25%. So that's actually pretty awesome. That looks really good so far. I wouldn't really, to be honest with you, I'd be amazed if this one doesn't continue through into next year, making its way to the 5s, the 10s, and the teens. That sounds crazy, but it's true. That's what it looks like to me. This has been a very tame consolidation. We've got other altcoins. Oh, these are just the ones that are on the side here. Litecoin, not that anyone ever looks at that anymore. That's only down 36%. And I say only, it's not that bad. We're heading down towards the 200 exponential, 82, 66, and 200 simple, 76, 12. These are not bad. These are not bad prices. This is not bad at all. And again, Ethereum, we've measured that out. Bitcoin itself now probably looking to make its way down to 92,150 or thereabouts for some kind of bounce around there. That's what we'd be hoping for. You could also take it to a weekly and see that actually if you were super bullish on this one, a bounce could take place right now on this 7 simple moving average. That's often the case. You bounce from a 7 simple in an extremely big bull market, but below that we are sort of in the upper 80s, which again, these are all been targets that we haven't sort of ruled out. But I'm not interested in Bitcoin. I've got enough Bitcoins. I don't need any more. I'm not looking to trade Bitcoin. I'm looking to accumulate those altcoins again for another big surge up. Probably the beginning of next year, I reckon. Maybe the end of this year, beginning of next year. And again, we're getting quite close to the end of the year. My expectation really was that we were going to consolidate throughout December, which did that idea bombed hard really when I was talking about that. That was people hated that prospect, saying you made me not buy the dip, and now I hate you because it's gone up 6%. I shouldn't be making anybody do anything. This is just my trade ideas. VeChain is another hodl that I've got. It's also a really successful trade that I had. These exit points being where I got out. So getting in below from between here and here, getting out between here and here. You might think, well, that's rubbish. But it's money for me, isn't it really? Your Christmas presents don't buy themselves. So that is that, and now we're down a significant amount. What was that? It was in the 50s, wasn't it? So this one's been pretty hard. Yeah, it's close to 50. So this one's like almost 50. 47.5% on the weekly, down towards this 10 exponential. Makes it look like we could even make our way all the way back down to 3 cents, which would be perfect because I'd love to pick it up at 3 cents. The 200 exponential also between 3.3 and basically 3 cents. So it looks to me like 3 cents would be a great place to pick this up from as well. Again, this is just for me. I'm not asking you to do anything. I'm not telling you to buy anything. You need to work out your own risk tolerance. But I'm assuming if you watch my channel regularly, and most of the viewers that I have, it's like 85% subscribers, they obviously find value to this information, and I haven't changed my overall analysis in years. These big swings, You know, buy last October, big move up, alt season, excellent. Scale out from December, in and out between December and March and April. Consolidate throughout the summer, reaccumulate towards the back end of that. Wait for the big breakout, get the big breakout, incremental sells on the way up, leading us to where we are right now, where I'm looking to get back in again. It's all been there, it's all been the same, but if I make one video every quarter, which is effectively all I'd really need to do to reiterate my overall projection of the entire market, I mean, no one's going to watch that. Oh, he's made 4 videos a year. Yeah, I made 4 videos a year. That's really all I need to make, really, because the big moves are on those big swings. Even in the big bear market of 2022, really, it was about those big swings. That we called them the everything bounces, and we got all 3 of them in stocks and 2 of them in crypto. The only reason we didn't get the third one is because FTX decided to break down, which again is a bit of a black swan, but it was still an everything bounce part 1, 2 and 3 in a bear market. Significant moves across the board for pretty much everything. So you make these big swings. That's my bread and butter. Higher term time frames give you the best options and the biggest moves, but it does require patience, and that is something that I can't teach. That is something that you'll have to learn, and if you can't handle it, then maybe you'll have to try a different strategy. But for me, patience counts for an enormous amount in trading. I always say it's like fishing. You can't run around swimming around trying to catch a fish. It's kind of crazy. You do have to wait on the side of the river for the fish to bite the hook, and then you reel it in. Who knows how long it'll take? Could take 5 minutes. Could take all day. Might not even happen. So, it's a good analogy to think about it like that, because that is what you have to do. So, we've been waiting. I say we, the royal we being me. So we've reached this peak. So there was my last sell order on VeChain. We went up a little higher. Yeah, obviously you can't sell the absolute top. You can't buy the absolute bottom. This is why we incrementally buy between here and here and sell between here and here. That's the deal. Recognizing and understanding that will help you a lot. So based on what we see right now, this is just an altcoin, but we could be looking for another 20 to another 30% pullback on this chart, right? So there could easily still be further to go, easily. And with that, you make your decision. Do I buy now? A little piece here, a little piece here, a little piece here, maybe a little piece further down. What's your overall expectation of this market? Do you believe it will continue to go up? I very much do. So let's have a look at the total 2, which is a carbon copy of what we've just seen on VeChain, really. Hitting that 50 simple moving average. We've got a horizontal here, which would be great to see a bounce from there. So 1.22 trillion. And then you've got the next move down, which is also a golden cross retest, which is at 1.8 trillion. Excellent stuff. Really good. Looking to see some of these moves play out and then buy in. A lot of people won't do that because they can't imagine it going back up again. They bought this dip, they bought this dip, they bought this dip. There's no more dips for them to buy. They're all out. It's all out because someone said, buy the dips. It's a bull market, which on the long term is true. All of these will be, dwarfed in the end. But if you're really looking to make some better money, it's better to wait. Like I say, I'm at the side of the river at the moment, and I'm waiting for the fish to bite. I'm having some nibbles right now, to be honest. So that is pretty much all there really is to say about this entire situation. I know it seems like it's the end of the world, but it isn't. This is where things really start to get interesting and get. We'll be looking to see this turn around probably within the next 2 weeks. We will have found a low. Might even get that low today, but I can't say that for certain. But within the next couple of weeks, my expectation really is the beginning of next year, it all turns around once again, and it all goes up once again. But just like I've been saying that the whole time, overheated reads on a money flow index requires some bloody big balls to buy. And looking at Bitcoin, this is we're resetting quite nicely. There's no signs of life on this daily, I have to say. Really sort of turning around a little bit for perhaps a dead cat bounce of some form, but not a low. I think the weekly is the thing to focus on. We're still relatively high, exceedingly high, I would say, when it comes to a risk factor of buying. But I know it seems the end, but it really isn't. It really isn't. This is what I was saying is the most likely scenario, and because it's the most likely scenario, it's the one I go for. It's not necessarily the thing I want, but it's most likely. So if it's most likely, you have to go with that. There's no point in saying, well, it's very unlikely to happen, so I'm all in. No. It's the most likely scenario, so I was largely all out. And now I've got to get back in again. So again, the easy part of the market's over. That's where we bought those accumulations. We're getting closer to areas where I would say is acceptable. And again, think about Ethereum as an overall sort of barometer of health. As we approach these areas, 3,150, 3,000, 2,800. These are the areas that I would be looking for altcoins to find their lows based on Ethereum. You could even see it come down as low as 2,500. You could. It would still be, it would be pretty dramatic, but it would be, you could call it a higher low of sorts. I mean, it would be, and it would also match the way that we've gone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. That 200 simple moving average. There's many supports. This is the thing. There's many supports. But let's not forget what the S&P looks like. Dramatic. However, based on what I'm looking at here with the S&P, a 20 and a 21 moving average here on a weekly looks to me like a very obvious place for a significant bounce. And that more or less comes in at 5,776, and we could easily see that today. So let's recognize everything that we're seeing as currently bullish charts, which they are, entering areas of significant support, which they're getting closer to that, offering nothing more than entry points moving forward on a higher term time frame for continuation into next year. That's what we're looking at. That is the situation here. This isn't hopium. This is chart analysis. This is the technicals that we're seeing here. And this is the evidence for why I would be interested in buying the S&P, why I'd be interested in going, I suppose, shorting the dollar, why I'd be interested in picking up altcoins. Because, nothing moves in one direction forever. Now, this is a significant move, but we have seen significant moves in the past, even on this. So that's a move up. All the way down here is a 4% move, almost 5% move in 1 week. What have we done this so far? Similar, isn't it? Almost the same. We get these. Runs up, bang, boosh. Hey, run up, bang, boosh. Well, this was a bit crazy, I have to say. But run up, bang, boosh. Run up, bang, boosh. Run up, bang, boosh. So here we go. So that is it. There's nothing more I can say. That is the deal. We sit back, we watch and wait. We plan our trades. If you want to join the Patreon, links in the description for that. We can look at all these charts again tonight on the stream. Let me know what you want me to look at. We can look at that as well. Because this is getting closer to the more exciting part of the market, where we were right by selling, end of November, early December. We will be right in buying end of December for continuation into from January onwards. That's the deal. Okay, it's price action. This is how it works. You buy the lows, you sell the highs. Buy the lows, sell the highs, or scale in to the lows, scale out towards the highs. But my hodls remain the same. All those entry points for everything, everything, all the entry points for all the altcoins that I did end of summer, October, they still remain, and they will remain, because my expectation is that they're going to reach much higher heights than they have previously, and I will be selling those towards the end of next year. Look, I'm not saying I'm the master or anything like that. I'm just saying that when you think in terms of high term timeframes, it makes it so much easier. It really does. And trying to analyze the market on a daily basis. I know I make these videos on a daily basis, but really it's the weekly analysis that counts for the most. We're approaching, almost there. We're approaching lows, and so it might be worth thinking about what it is that you want to buy, how much and where you're going to buy it from, and then thinking about where and how you're going to go about selling them. Because you've got to make these plans. You can't react emotionally to these markets. You'll get wrecked every time. It's not an emotional thing. You cannot apply emotions to any of this. You can only apply the technicals. And again, supports, we're spoilt for choice. So put your limit orders in if you want to. Take the emotions out of it. Think about what it is that you're doing. Put your limit orders in. Other than that, though, I hope you have a nice day. And maybe I'll see you tonight on the stream. Otherwise, just take it easy.